Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a team analysis for the KDA. Now you guys must be wondering what draft league is the KDA. It is my own draft league. I did decide to start my own draft league. I thought it'd be a fun experience to try and test out. I've got 13 of my friends who I've gotten to know through draft leagues, and a couple personal friends who are also in here to help me. So 13 other coaches. So this is a 14 coach draft. And yeah, KDA stands for Krook's Draft Academy. So yeah, obviously we're still the North Shore Nido Kings. Will be the North Shore Nido Kings for a while. I don't have any plans on changing our team name soon, or team logo. But anyway, let us get to our analysis. So obviously I randomized draft order and everything, and luckily enough we got third pick. Third pick was really nice. I like getting third pick. If I'm not wheel, I'd rather be like 1 or 2 spots away from the wheel. I'm not too concerned. It's probably, other than wheel, it's probably my favorite spot to be in draft. Now I could have been really boring and picked Dragapult as my first pick, because Dragapult was still on the board. Dragapult didn't get taken. I think it was Iron Val. Yeah, Iron Val, and then Chien-Pao went afterwards. So I could have picked Pult, but I didn't want to be boring. A mon that did come up in my mind was Tapu Koko. Koko was on my mind because I did get sniped of Koko in MPBA. I wanted Koko as my first pick in MPBA, but didn't get that. So Koko came across my mind. But I have used Koko in another league. My process for this league is to draft an entire team of mons I haven't used before. That was my thought process. Going in. And that, with that being said, this is DLC 2. This is my second draft in DLC 2. So I thought, what better way to start off our draft with our team captain? What better way to choose our team captain than pick a DLC 2 mon? Welcome in Iron Boulder. Now, Iron Boulder is really strong. Sorry, 1 second. That was a long yawn. Sorry guys, I am currently recording this. I'm breaking the fourth wall. Currently recording this at 6:20 at night, so 6:20 p.m. I've been up since 3:30 in the morning because of work. I'm currently recording this 15 hours, almost 15 hours, while being awake. So I'll be yawning constantly. It's just this is the time I found free to record this. But yes, Iron Boulder is our team captain. I saw this. I love Terrakion. Right, I'm a Terrakion. I'll hop on the Terrakion bandwagon. Terrakion is my favorite Swords of Justice member, and when I saw that it was getting a Paradox version, I wanted to pick it up in draft. I didn't get to in the other draft league that won, and BRL, because I believe it's banned in there. But Iron Boulder does a lot of things. 124 speed, great speed tier, immediately hits my mark. I always say that you should have them on at least base 120 speed or above. So 124 hits that mark. Big fan. 120 attack. Decent bulk too. 90 HP, 80 defense, 108 special defense. This thing is a monster. This thing gets coverage for days. I can go over the coverage, but I'm not really going to. Yeah, this thing has really nice coverage. It's just a really good breaker. That's why I picked it. I wanted a hard-hitting mon out right off the bat. And Iron Boulder was it. Moving on to our second pick. I was looking at stuff that was going, like Coco got paired with Iron Treads. See, Toxapex get paired with Mega Diancie. Ogremon Halfplane paired with Pole. Chi-Yu paired with Deoxys Speed. Like, there's big threats going around. Then I came to my pick. And there were actually a few mons that I could have picked from. That being said, we are going through the idea of picking mons I haven't used before. As much as I would have loved to pick up Sinistra, because that thing is a demon and has won me games in MPBA, got us to finals. I'm sadly leaving my boy in the palm of my friend. He picked it second pick. He picked it as his second pick. He was 13th. I left it to him. He can have it. Hopefully he can do well with it. Just not against me. I thought, what is good to pair with Iron Boulder? And lo and behold, I actually have not used this mon in draft before. We picked up Goldingo. As you can see, Goldingo has really nice stats. 133 special attack, another breaker. This thing can be used as a breaker. This thing can be used as bulky support, because this thing gets screens. This thing has an amazing ability and good as gold, which means we're immune to status moves. Default can't work on us, so which means hazards has the potential to stay up. This thing gets access to screens as well. This thing has really good utility. It also hits hard, and I'm a big fan of Goldingo. I've always wanted to use it, and now we have the chance to. Yeah, it was a really nice one to see. Still round 2, and yeah, I'm really happy with this pairing. We are a little bit ground weak, ground, dark, and ghost weak at the moment, but we kind of sort that out with our next pick, to be honest. That was what my next pick was with in mind. I'm just like, what helps us with psychic, ground, and dark, and what mon can do with these 3 things, but also gives us a role. And lo and behold, I saw for 15 points Hydreigon. I love Hydreigon. It is honestly my favorite pseudo. I want to say off the top of my head, unless I'm forgetting something. Titar, Dragonite, Titar, Metagross, Salamence, Garchomp, Hydreigon, Goodra, Komodo, Gen 8's Polt, Gen 9 is... What's the Gen 9 pseudo? Baxcalibur. Yeah, it's my favorite pseudo. I hate Bax. Yeah. This thing, because we're playing in Nat decks, this thing gets access to Roost and Defog. So this gives us our first defogger of the team, which is really nice. Keep the hazards off our field. This thing gives us once again 2 immunities in ground and psychic, and two of the resistances that we need covered. This thing hits like a truck. That one thing that drags Hydreigon down is the 98 speed. It's not base 100, which means all their base 100 mons outspeed Hydreigon if we're not scarfed. But man, I love Hydreigon. I love it. I'm so excited to use this. It was the perfect mon to fit here, to pair with Boulder and Goldingo. Now for our 4th pick. Things were going fast. So we went down, so we're going back up. At this point, like Rillaboom got paired with Sneasler. What a surprise! We see at this point we see someone doing a mono psychic team. Recently Mega Scizor and Scream Tail get paired with Landorus and Urshifu single. Like, there are threats, and then there's also a stall team happening. Ugh, yuck. And I just thought, right, I want a Mega. What Mega is best suited for my team? I sat down and I even asked my friend. I'm just like, in your opinion, what is the best Mega for my team? Now I thought about the Turkey Bird Mega Pidgeot. I also thought about Mega Beedrill. A lot, because I don't really want to spend too much points. At this point, I'm already quite top heavy. With my first 3 picks, I don't really want to spend anything above 13. Was my original process. But then my friends like, what about Mega Venusaur? Mega Venusaur was 14 points. And I'm like, he did convince me to get this thing. This thing is bulky. This thing is bulk, which is what my team needed at this moment in time. We have a potential bulky mon in Goldingo if we wanted to build it bulky. And then we really have 2 breakers in Boulder and Hydreigon. But sorry, my mind just went blank. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mega Venu. Like, Thick Fat is amazing ability with this. It means we're only really weak to water, electric, flying and psychic. Start naming its resistances. This thing has great utility. I wouldn't say great, but it has decent utility. Oof. Like Leech Seed, this thing also gets dual screens. It gets toxic. It gets block. Gonna block your ass and keep you in the battlefield. Like, this thing has some really nice moves that we can use. And it's just bulk. It's what my team needed. I needed some monsters that were able to take hits. And this was one of them. This also gives me my grounded poison for my team, which is another thing I always say. You should have a grounded poison on your team, because otherwise toxic spikes will lose you the game. You'll lose the toxic spikes. So this gives me my grounded poison, which I was really happy about. Next up for our 5th pick, man, threats were going. Like Gorging Fire went, Metagross, Mega Blastoise, Corviknight went, then it came back to me. We had to wait 4 more picks before it came back to me. And I'm just like, I need a water type. I'm a big fan of bulky waters. And once again, I don't draft a bulky water. I am trying something out here with this league. This one has like a bit of bulk to it. It can be bulky, but I'm trying to go for a more offensive approach with this league, with a few bulky mons to help my offensive mons. Our 5th pick was Keldeo. Keldeo's a mon I wanted to try. I've never gotten to use it because it's always been banned. 129 special attack. Once again, another breaker, which is what I like. I need mons to break so that like Iron Boulder and Gold Dingo and Hydreigon can come in and just win me the game. This thing, like, I'm sorry, what do you have that is going to switch in other than like a water absorb mon or a really bulky water to like a stab choice pick surf? Not a lot. Keldeo is the GOAT. It is 15 points. This also gives us our next fastest mon. Iron Boulder being 124 and Keldeo being 108. I'm really not too worried about that 14-point gap in speed. Is it 14? 16. 16-point gap in speed. Because people still have to run the like Jolly or Timid. They can't really run the better beneficial nature for them. Which is great. Sorry, just texting. Yeah, this thing just sits like a truck. I was really happy with it. This gives me a solid water grass core at the moment. And this also finishes off my psychic fighting dark core as well. I'm not a huge core person, but they're just nice to have. I pick mons based on roles, what they do for me as a role mon. And Keldeo is a breaker. Venusaur is a bulky tank. Our next pick, I believe this is our 6th pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, our 6th pick. Our 6th pick came along, and I'm just like, fuck it. I might as well just complete this core. And I wanted a bulky fire. Because as you can see, I've got these breakers. I've got enough breakers at the moment. And I wanted to add a bit more bulk to my team. And I was looking at it, and then there was one bulky fire that piqued my interest. And that is Moltres. Now you might be asking why I picked Moltres over Talonflame. I've used Talonflame before, and Moltres is bulkier. Man, I do not like facing Moltres. It's one of the mons I do not like facing. Just because of how bulky it is. Like, sure, you can just say, run a rock move. Most mons that have a rock move are slower than I won't say slower than Moltres. Or Moltres just switches out down. Or you get burned. Like, 125 special attack, once again, this thing can be a breaker. It's probably going to be more of a bulky option. But the option is there for it to be another breaker. yeah, U-turn, roost gives us access to another defogger. If we really want to go there, which we might some weeks. But yeah, this also gives me my flying type, helps me with my partial ground weakness with Boulder and Goldingo as well. So yeah, it was a really good mon to pick up in my opinion. At this moment in time, I started seeing Terra mons go. Mons, like, yeah. Started seeing people choosing the Terra captains. And I'm just like, what Terra cap do I want? Because once again, I said I want to use mons I haven't used before, which means Sunshow was out the question, Drifloon was out the question. Like, mons that I know are good with Terra were out. Some of them were out of the question. And then I had a look, and surprisingly, this didn't get picked when it got back to me. Spoilers. Into Terra Barbarical. This thing is a menace with Terra. So this gives me a Shell Smasher. This thing is a potential sweeper as well. This thing does have a few bulky. This thing can be a bit of a bulky option if you want, like a Salt Fist Barbarical. Ooh, that does sound appealing. This thing gets tough claws as well. Like, this thing hits like a truck, and with Terra, we can not freely, we can more easily set up Shell Smash on some things that normally we couldn't set up on. I'm really excited to use Barbarical. Once I saw what this thing can do with Terra in another league, I want to pick this up at some point. And yeah. Surprisingly, round 8 came along. We had to drop between 9 to 11 mons, by the way. 120 points. We upped the points a little so people can have fun with their teams and picks. Round 8 came along, and I was having a look at the board. Because when it comes back to my pick, even though I have a pick in mind, I'll always reevaluate the board. To my surprise, a mon that usually gets picked like round 3, round 4 was here in round 8 and was here when it was my turn to draft. One of my favorite Generation 1 mons, and honestly, my favorite fairy type, has joined the North Shore Nidokings for Season 1 of KDA. I am fucking shocked that this thing came to me. In round 8, probably the steal of the draft. Into Clefable. Clefable is a monster. Now, I know Spirit. I know you're gonna watch this. Hello, Spirit. I know you wanted Clefable. I know you had a plan made out, and your low tiers got sniped, and that's why you grabbed Sylveon instead at the time. Otherwise, you would have grabbed Clefable. I know this. I'm sorry, man, but I saw around at Clefable, and I had to take it. This thing gets Wish Passing into Boulder and Goldingo, and even Megavinu. Like, we have great monster Wish Pass into Stealth Rock. This thing has great utility. This thing can also be offensively deadly. Magic Guard, Life Orb, like Calm Mind, Unaware. It's also Unaware mon. This thing gets healing in Soft Boiled. Like, this is great. I'm a big fan of Clefable. I've always wanted to use it in draft. I just never got to, and this gives us a really great fairy type. This also rounds out our Dragon, Fairy, Steel Core, and Goldingo, Hydreigon, and Clefable. Really good core in my opinion. It's a really nice core. And yeah, we're not really doubling up on weaknesses now. If you guys noticed, like our ground weaknesses on Boulder, Goldingo, and technically Barbaracle, but we have Terra, are covered with Hydreigon, Megavinu, and Moltres. Our psychic weakness with Megavinu and Keldeo are covered by Goldingo, Iron Boulder, and Hydreigon. Yeah, it's really nice. We're building a nice, well-rounded team. Yeah, trust me, Clefable will put him like this season. I plan on it. Now my next mon, my 9th pick, I had in sight for a bit. I had in sight for a while. I actually had it in sight for my 8th pick, but I saw Clefable there, and that's what I'm saying. Reevaluate the board before you pick your next pick, because I would have picked my round 9th pick as my 8th pick, but I saw this first. I decided to do the safe option and take Clefable first. Up next, we have a mon that I have seen, I wouldn't say dominate, but be a pain with Terra. Are you guys, do you guys smell that? It smells like PTSD. Because trust me, I'm giving you all PTSD with this next pick. Terra Miltank. PTSD. I'm naming this Miltank PTSD because, oh boy, it's gonna feel like you're back in Whitney's gym in gold and silver. This thing is faster than you think with 100 speed, so it gives us a mon at base 100. This thing is bulky as all hell. This thing gets access to, like, recovery and milk drink, heal bell, great utility. This thing can be offensively, this thing can put a dent in your team. This also gets Toxic and Thunder Wave. I saw Terra Miltank put in work last season, this season in MPBA, season 9. I believe we're in season 9. Yeah, season 9. And oh boy, I'm glad I'm on this end of Terra Miltank and not the other end. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, I've just got the duo of Clefable and Terra Miltank. So good luck. Wish pass into Miltank. Yeah. Have fun. I'm probably gonna lose. There are teams scarier than mine, I'll be honest, but I'm here to have fun with mons I haven't used before. And then my last pick, I had 2 points left at for my last pick. I wanted to pick Terra Grottle, another Shell Smasher. But then Chandy convinced me to get a Spiker. And I was looking at the 2 points, and then one really stood out to me. And that's Terra Carving. The Terra rules were we could draft 2 to 3 Terra captains. We had 15 points to do so. So Barbaracle was 5 points, Miltank was 8, which got us to 13, which means that our 2-point mon can be our 3rd Terra cap. Terra Carving is a menace. This thing gets access to spikes, which is really good for Goldingo. This thing gets access to dual screens. Carving is a defensive monster, which is another thing that I really wanted for my team, was another defensive monster. With Terra, this thing can set up and just be annoying to deal with. This thing gets rocks and spikes, toxic, and trick room. Well, that's a spoiler. I am happy that we got this for 2 points. This is honestly probably, I would say, one of, if not the best 2-pointer. This Bastiodon, by this point Bastiodon was gone. Crocolore's there. Crocolore's good for 2 points. Like, there is a few good 2-point ones with Terra, like Greedent, Grottle, Lunatone, Terra, Magma. Magma can do a few things. Like, there are good 2 points for Terra, but Carbink just stood out to me. We can do a lot with Carbink. This thing can come in and take hits. Clear Body and Sturdy if we really wanted to. Get up our spikes, lay our spikes or rocks, and then we're good. But yeah, this is our team for KDA Season 1. As you can see, we currently have a technically we have technically 4 ground weaknesses, but 2 of them have Terra. 3 electric weaknesses, 1 of them has Terra. The only thing that I do not like about this team is not having a actual ground type. I would have loved to pick up Domfam for this team. Domfam was on my mind for this team, but I've used Domfam before. I've used my favorite Pokemon before. Overall, I'm really happy with this team. It looks super fun to use and play with. And we're just gonna see how it goes. Overall, we're here to have fun. We're here to test out if I can run a league, how well I can run a league, while also playing in the league. But let me know what you guys think of the team down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, stay safe, be yourself, and peace.